Well, there's a half hour of my life I'll never get back. Looking for this clear part. It goes to the stand. I was finishing up the J-22 and I couldn't find this piece. I just fitted it, said I couldn't find it. All the clutter on the desk, I clean swept over and over, and finally I picked up this pin and it had somehow gotten under it and balanced. I couldn't do that on purpose, as you can tell, but it could do it on accident. Well, hello, Glue Troopers. Max and Max's models here at the under construction Starcruiser simulator building. And coming up with a bunch of cool ideas about how to do this thing and playing with it today. One of the considerations, I think I'm going to use this device that came with the Jupiter 2 as the main computer room computer. I can build a structure around it, of course, to hide all these goodies and everything. And I was playing with lighting up. Kind of got it, the interior all done and everything as a simulator. Had to fit the dome, which meant I had to reroute some of the wiring. There's still a ton of work to do. I was thinking about putting it up on a single pedestal, sort of like the box that it's on now, that would serve as both a place to hide all the electronics or the easily accessible and look like a mount that it might go on. And although I bought all these rods to put the metal tubes to make the hydraulic control struts for the simulator, I was thinking, what else I could do is maybe mount it on the center pedestal and through these rods put lights through them so they wouldn't actually connect but would light up and look like there's some sort of pulse system, anti-gravity system that moves it around, be a little more whiz-bang than a modern day simulator on stilts. And wiring up some more lights, but that could actually be kind of cool since, we are kind of in the day of anti-grav. So we'll see how it comes out when we're all said and done. I've got some panels and stuff I want to build to make, controlling consoles and stuff for the guys on the ground. And at first I thought I might put them up here where the guys who control the simulator, with an observation deck overhead. But I think it's going to be better if they're on the ground in a control booth, kind of Apollo style. And well, we'll see how it goes. And anyway, that's where that's going. I finished off the little Marivox Swedish J-22. I was surprised the decals were amazingly good for being so old. They did not take long to separate, and they adhered very well. They were thin enough to lay down nice, thick enough that they didn't crack it. One of them did split in half, but that was my fault. And funny little thing, when I got them, I decided to put up on a stick, and it had a two-piece spinner, so I thought I would put a clear spinny in the middle, even though there's no pilot in the cockpit, because this airplane looks so good in the air, a lot like a FW190, but it's got that Messerschmittish style landing gear that actually, I believe, goes back into the fuselage, not in the wing, but it just looks so stork-like when it's on the ground, so I thought I'd just go ahead and it just looks so much better on the stick. Plus, to be full disclosure, to those tiny little gear door things they have on it, you're fiddling with some really, really small parts that I did put in there to seal up the door. I still need to touch them up with a hint of paint, so one or two things. And I need to trim out the cockpit a little bit. I only got some of the cockpit painted, but to be honest, it frosted so bad, it's hardly worth wasting time on, to be honest with you. It was a harder kit to assemble. To just put it together was no big deal, but to put it together right, make it look like something, a little more of a trick than I expected. I probably just built too many Airfix and Tamiya kits and gotten used to everything fitting perfectly. This one was a struggle. There's a fair amount of putty in there, but it's an interesting subject matter. It's done. It's up on the shelf. I'll probably at some point later on come on and touch up the guns and canopy. But when I put that two-piece spinner on it with the clear part, it just didn't look very good because it's designed to have the propeller, which is actually three-piece, the prop, the front and back of the spinner, and I thought, well, I'll just put it on the spinner, and it did work, but it just didn't come out quite as. If you're going to do that, you need to either fill in those. If you're really trying to make a nice showpiece out of it, either put the prop in there and just have it up on a stick with propeller stationary. If you're going to put a clear spinny, you're going to have to fill in that area. Which wouldn't have been a big deal if I thought about it ahead of time. I don't know why. I just didn't think it was going to be quite that visible when I was done. And maybe at some point I'll go in and do it. Or I still have the propeller. I could just go stick the prop in it. I have some information to the history of Marivox. I should get cracking on that. All right. That's what we got done today. Thank you for coming out to Starcruiser Command Training Headquarters. We'll talk to you guys later. As always, model on. Well, hello, Glue Troopers. Max of Max's Models here.